Is that guy one of them there turbo diesel Cummins motors in it? What's up, guys? It's Drifts and Lifts here. Alright, so today's video, gonna be doing some cool stuff on my tow rig. I didn't have any Volvo stuff to do, and we have a drift event tomorrow at Agassiz Speedway. And I was bored, and I had these lowering shackles kicking around for the Cummins. And I figured, it's a pretty nice night, and we got Lawrence out of the garage, so I'm gonna install them. So I'll do a bit of an explanation for you guys. So if you haven't seen this truck before, this is my 1992 Dodge Cummins turbo diesel. It's got the Getrag manual transmission in it. Over the last little while here, I've been doing a lot of work on it. So I got a 3200 governor spring in it. It's got a BD fuel pin in it, and on these trucks, you guys all know, you can turn up the pump or whatever. So we crank the pump to max. It definitely hauls ass. This truck is not slow anymore by any means. A lot of fun to drive, actually. So this is a two-wheel drive model. It's got the stack on it. I don't know. I just like that kind of stuff. It's pretty fun. So this truck is basically just a strict tow rig. It's definitely not for off-roading. One cool thing though, this does have a limited slip differential. So it kicks two tires, so I can actually drift it. If you guys want to see a video of that, mention it in the comments, and I'll bring this to some secluded area and I'll film a drift video with this truck, because I'm not gonna lie, I have in the rain at sometimes kicked it out and the thing like definitely slides out, no problems. So yeah, so basically what I did here is I found a write-up on Google, actually on the Cummins forums, and there's a guy who modified these shackles here to fit the Dodge Cummins trucks, the first gens. So basically, I'll get a light out for you guys here. I think I have my phone light. In the past, yeah, I know, sorry, some of my videos have been pretty dark here. But so if you look under here, there's the shackle. So basically, all that we're gonna do is we're gonna be removing this shackle and installing this shackle. And what it does is basically sits up like that, and it gives it a 2-inch drop. So the stock leaf spring location would be on that third hole there. So what we did is we drilled out the top hole here because the bolt size that we got to use is a 3/4 bolt. So I drilled that out on both shackles to 3/4. We punched out this little metal sleeve, so that's 3/4 as well now. So basically all I did was follow the steps that some guy wrote up on the Cummins forums. So shout out to whoever that was. Pretty good little write-up, shows you exactly how to do this. So we're going to be installing these tonight. It's a bit of a pain just because, you know, these things are going to be probably some rusty bolts. I've been spraying PB Blaster on them in hopes of loosening things up before I get started here. But yeah, so this video is just going to be basically about me lowering this truck. And the thing about these first gens is because they have such a heavy motor, the Cummins I think weighs 1,100 pounds, just the motor itself. The front springs always sag. So if you look in the front there, they're literally 2 inches lower than it is in the rear. So this should level it out really nicely, and it'll give it kind of a clean street truck stance. I'm pretty stoked about that. It should look really good. One thing that's always bugged me about this truck was the rake that it had. You know, I got cool wheels on it. I got these, whatever they are. I think they're American Racing, like Steelies, but they're 16.5s, which is an interesting size, because they only use those like back in the day. They don't really make too many tires for them anymore. It's actually really hard to find. So shout out to my man Square Body Steve. He actually hooked me up with these tires that were sitting on one of his square bodies in his yard for a good price. So shout out to Stevie. Yeah, so the truck's looking pretty much how I want it to. Everything's all nice, other than the rear needs to be lowered. So that's what we're gonna do. You guys probably noticed I cut my hair, so sorry to everyone, I cut my hair. I look like a little kid now. Shaved my beard, I know, had to happen. Yeah, so let's do it. I think we'll start wrenching here. So I'm not gonna do like a full in-depth thing, but I'll kind of show you guys the basics of it. It's pretty straightforward in theory, but when bolts get rusty and you gotta, like, you know, grind things out and stuff, that's when stuff gets pretty hard. So we're gonna see how it goes. I'll try my best, and hopefully it's not too bad. The write-up online is really good though. It shows you everything you got to do, everything you'll need. Luckily I have a Sawzall here, so that's gonna help a lot. Yeah, so let's get started. What I'll do now is jack up the rear of the truck and then put it on jack stands on the frame. We're gonna drop that axle down a bit. All right, my bad guys, I got a little ahead of myself here, so I'll show you guys the progress that I made so far. Okay, so luckily my truck is pretty clean. It doesn't have any rust, and the corrosion on this thing actually wasn't bad. So if you look here, you're gonna have a 22, or sorry, the big nut that was on here was an 1/8 inch, as well as this nut up on the top here. So if we look on the back, it was actually a 22 for this bolt, and luckily for mine it wasn't seized in there, so it was able to come out. What I'm going to do now, because I have this hitch in the way and this won't come all the way out, is I'm going to hack this bolt in half with a Sawzall, and that will come out. Okay, so now once we're done that, now I'm going to go over to the other side here, and I'll show you guys the problem I'm having. You're going to have to bust out your Sawzall and your cutting tools, because unfortunately this one was seized in here. So, alright, take a look at that. So here's the shackle. I tried to hammer this bolt out and we did not have any luck, unfortunately. What I might try to do is actually spin that. I don't think it's going to help at all, but it's worth a try. So what I did is cut right through here. Now this is up, this one's actually free at the top here, so this bolt can come out. Before I do that though, so all I'm going to do is basically lower the truck onto its jack stands, which is under the axle right now, and this shackle is going to come up far enough so I can actually push this bolt out. But before I do that, I'm going to have to get this one out. So I'm going to go on the back here. It's a 22 mil wrench, and I'm going to try to twist this out. I don't think I'm going to have any luck though. I believe it is completely seized in there, unfortunately. So what I'm going to have to do is make a bunch of cuts into this thing here, which is going to be kind of shitty, but what can you do? That's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to take my angle grinder, make a cut through this big bushing. It's going to be really smoky and gross. And then I'll have to make a couple cuts because that's how I'm going to get the bolt out. And once I do that, it should be able to come out, and we'll see how she looks. So I'll show you guys the next step after. Alright guys, so my apologies, I kind of gave up on the whole how-to video part of it. This is more just to show you guys what it looks like and go for a ride in the Cummins. But here, I'll show you a quick kind of what it looks like now. So there's the new shackle. The hard part was definitely cutting through that original bottom piece. I made 2 cuts, one on each side of inside like the bracket here, and that actually ended up working pretty well. So it just popped out, knocked the bolts out. I got a new 3/4 bolt for the bottom there, and we actually were able to reuse the top ones. So if you look here, it is now pretty much dead even with the front if we compare kind of like wheel gap. You know, to be honest, the front actually might still be a tiny bit lower, but it looks really good. I don't know, I'm really stoked on it, just because I'm not really a big fan of rake. Rake never looks that great on vehicles. So, you know, to be honest, maybe in the future I will lower this further. What you can do is you can take the front shackle, the front bracket for it, and you can flip it upside down. And then actually that'll give you probably another inch or two as far as lowering goes. You can also cut the springs on these trucks. You're not recommended to go too far though. Like, you can probably cut one spring out of it and make it nice. So yeah, no, I'm really stoked with how it rides. It actually, you know, it rides a bit better too, just because before having it raked like this, there's more weight transfer to the front of the truck, and it kind of like dove into potholes harder. It kind of like, you know, dove down the road. But now it kind of just has a nice level stance to it. It actually feels a little different driving in there. You're not so like pointed up. It might be a little comfier for long trips as well. I'm not going to be like, you know, tilted forward. I'll be able to sit back a little bit, because these bench seats do not have a adjustment as far as this goes. This doesn't tilt back. All the adjustment is forward or back, and there's actually not too much room for that either. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm going to wash the truck, because I think this truck deserves a nice wash. It's been a while, so I'll clean it up, wash all the dirt off the tires and that kind of thing. I'm actually going to fire it up, and I'll do a little video of me washing it real quick in high speed. And then after that, I'll toss the GoPro in the truck, and we'll go for a little rip in it, and that'll be basically a wrap up of the video. So tomorrow, today's Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. We're actually having a drift event at Agassiz Speedway. So definitely stay tuned for that, guys. I'm going to be making a video of it. I'm actually going to be taking Tim, the NA beater, as you guys all know. I'm going to be driving that car. So it's a circle track. You guys have seen this on my other videos, I'm sure. It's just a straight circle track, you know, it's not that fun. But it's an event and it's really local to us. It's about 20 minutes away. So, you know, all the other tracks are about like 3 hours away. So this is, you know, pay $60 and you get to drift without the worries of cops pulling you over and giving you tickets and that kind of thing. So because Lawrence doesn't have a welded diff, and I actually took insurance off Lawrence for a little while. I put it on the Cummins. I'm not balling enough to insure 3 vehicles at one time in BC. It starts to cost pretty darn, you know, quite a bit. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that I want to do to Lawrence, a couple tweaks and this and that. So he's going to be in the garage for a bit. I'm going to be doing some wrenching videos on Lawrence. So yeah, I haven't really thought of too far ahead, but it's probably we're gonna do a 16T swap. And Dan actually at Post Haste Performance mentioned I am able to do like a dyno vid because he's getting a new dyno at the shop there. So I might do like a test for you guys. I'll compare an IPD turbo cam versus a K cam on stock ECUs, stock injectors, and stock tune, and just kind of see, you know, a really simple swap a cam in, see what one makes more power, K cam or IPD. So that'll be pretty cool. Definitely stay tuned for that. Yeah, but so definitely stay tuned. It's gonna be hilarious. An automatic, non-turbo. You know, Tim has a G80 locker diff in it, but it really isn't too great. So I'm gonna be driving that thing as absolute hard as I can, and hopefully I'm able to make it around the track sideways. There's always carnage at that track, so it should be fun there too. Anyways, let's wash this beast and go for a rip. There we go, guys. So here's a better look at it. Oh man, that looks awesome. I'm pretty stoked on that. Oh yeah, it's a good looking truck. I don't know if you guys noticed this is a Volvo 740 bumper. It doesn't really fit that well, but I just don't like how beefy the stock bumper is. I wanted it to be a little more trim. We're probably gonna do a roll pan eventually though. Make it look real clean, do it front and back. Stoked. All right, let's go for a rip. All right guys, I'll open up this back window in a bit here. Really hear that Cummins sound. Yeah, one thing about these trucks is the first gear is so low in them. It's basically just a towing gear. You can start off in second. I just did a fresh oil change in it actually. So it's got fresh oil. Went with just a Lucas oil, 1540. Yeah, no, this is I'm really enjoying this truck. I think I'll keep it for a long time. It's got no rust on it. I did all the stuff you got to do. I did the killer dowel pin. I did the, you know, 3200 governor spring, so it revs out now. It's definitely a fun truck to drive. You need a manual transmission in a Cummins, in my opinion. Oh yeah, see, driving this thing is just way better now. With it kind of sitting a little more level, it feels a lot more planted. I'll go to a good road and we can do a bit of a rip here. It's amazing how much louder it is once I open this window here. Check it out. Oh yeah, baby. truck. So it's got a brand new clutch kit in it. It's a Satch's 13-inch clutch, so should hold pretty good. I'm not too sure once I start bumping up the power even more, like say I put injectors in it, but we'll see. Should be all right. Oh yeah. I also have, I don't know if I told you guys, but I have an HX35 turbo, so that's a bit of an upgrade. It's from a second gen Cummins. I'm gonna be putting that on this truck. Right now we're peaking at about 25 pounds of boost. With that HX35, people say that they'll run up to about 35 pounds of boost. So that'll be pretty fun. Here's second gear start. There we go. Something. As you know, most of you that have been watching my channel for a while kind of know that I smoke a lot of weed, right? So I've actually stopped smoking weed for a while now. Just in, you know, it was killing my productivity, and I became kind of, I almost want to say burnt out because of it. So it doesn't work for everybody. Like, you know, some people love smoking weed. I used to love smoking weed. I still, like, don't mind it, but just these days, you know, there's too much going on. I don't have time to just smoke weed all day. It really kills what I want to do and that kind of thing. So, you got to realize when you're dependent on it, and everything in life is moderation, right? So, it's, you know, it's a choice I've made for now, and I don't think I'll go back to smoking weed every day. It's just kind of, I don't know, I feel like I'm able to live life a bit better, kind of, you know, it's so a lot of people enjoy it, and there's nothing against weed. I used to like love weed, but just, you know, something to consider for all you guys that smoke weed every day. Before you know it, you might not even know how it's affecting you. So, just kind of rant of the day. Thanks for listening. Yeah, pretty much. So you'll probably see more videos from me because of this. And, you know, the videos will probably be cooler. I bought a new computer, and I'm running on this GoPro 5. This will do pretty good for now. Yeah, so thanks to all you guys for watching the channel. You know, all you subscribers of mine, really appreciate it. You guys are what keeps me going on this, and I'm gonna try my best to, you know, keep it going and be able to pay the bills this way. I know some of you guys have said, like, you should get a job and this and that. That may be the case. I might get a job eventually, but in the meantime, I'm gonna try to do it like this, and I'm really enjoying it. I just want to thank all you guys for supporting me in this journey of the YouTube epic Volvo drift lifestyle. So anyways, guys, I think that's a wrap up of the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out the Drifts and Lifts store if you haven't yet. We got our Volvo Drift beer merchandise. We're going to be coming out with some more pretty soon here. We're going to be coming out with the Lawrence shirt, probably a Volvo Drift IPA. And yeah, that's basically about it, guys. So like and subscribe for hot, steamy piles of Volvo shit. Peace out.